recap video from our Saturday afternoon workshop of Learn the Shim Sham. So I'm actually going to put a link to an old recap video of me just doing the whole basic choreography at a slower tempo down in the about section of this video rather than filming it all over again. So what this video is going to cover is the variations that I showed you. So we talked about a couple easy places to put variations. Lulls was the first one. So normally we go single, single, double on the right, and single, single, double on the left. So we were like, hey, why not instead of the doubles, why not do a slow one? So starting on the right, single, single, slow, da, 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 single, single, slow, da, da, with numbers 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another one I showed is something called a Kelly Porter stomp. And that was kind of, once you put your foot out here, you want to pretend that you're grinding out a cigarette or some other item on the ground. And so that one with numbers is 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let me do that one from the back so I'm also in the same orientation as you. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we talked about some other things to do on our full break. We talked about the tap break that you'll see a lot of people around town do, and pretty much every dancer from Charlottesville does the tap break. So instead of going 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're going to have a more syncopated rhythm that I have no hope of giving numbers to, so I have to just kind of sing it, and it goes step, tap, step, hop, down, out, in. And so you should be hitting your in on the 7 so that you can go into anything else on the 8, so I'll show it going into pushes. So we have step, tap, step, hop, down, out, in, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a variation that you can work on to make your full breaks a little more fancy. I also showed kind of a personal styling of mine that I like to do at the very end of that long sandwich of full and half breaks, the first time through, before the talking section of the song, the very last full break. Instead of doing a full break, I like to do like kind of a little full break lock turn thingy, because there's a little drum hit in the music, and it's fun if you do this, you're turning during that little p'tah, and it's just kind of fun. So that one I go 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we talked about putting some variations in our pushes. So my sort of go-to one that I can do kind of at this point without thinking about is turning my pushes. So instead of going 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm going to use that kick to just let my body keep going in that same direction that I'm already kicking. So that one looks like 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we always left the short ones as they were. Like obviously you can play around with them as much as you want, but just I figured we would mess with the slower, more extended pushes. The next one we did was a toe heel drop. So we went 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 1, toe, heel, step, kick, across. 8, 1, toe, heel, step, kick, across. And then the quick ones were plain D, D. And then we also talked about you can throw a Susie Q into just a normal push. Doesn't actually change the timing of it. You just have to think ahead in order to put it in. So you can, I should turn around for this one so you can see my front foot because it's really the only thing that's changing, is 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Susie Q. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Susie Q. 8, 1. So just adding that little Susie Q, or you normally would just have a step. And then we talked about during our boogie backs, especially the second set of boogie backs when you're alternating with the shorty Georges, the music really gets big there. And so I like to make a change from just normal boogie backs to doing fishtails instead. And so you have to think a little bit ahead and set yourself up for success on the 7. So you have to step out 7 so you can clap 8. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you also have to remember to bring your foot in on 7 before you go into the shorty Georges, because if you put it out here, I mean, you could do it, but it might be a little weird. And let's see, we also talked about just sort of a freebie. I hardly even call it a variation. It's just a thing I do to keep time while I'm waiting. The second set of tacky annies, right? So we're doing our little tacky annies, and we normally would go into a full break, but the second time through the Shim Sham, we just do those freezes. So I go ahead and do my stomp off, and then just send my hips in a little circle here before I go into my half break. Mainly it just helps me count the time, but it's also fun because you get to do a little mess around, and it is a legitimate jazz move. So there. I think that was all of the variations that we covered. Again, I'm putting a link in the About section of this video that will take you to me just doing the plain choreography slowly so that you can practice that if that is what you're looking for. And thank you guys so much for coming out. You were a great group.